Liverpool got back to winning ways in the Premier League again after 2 matches without a win. In today's video we have some big Jurgen Klopp news, whilst also going over all the big talking points from the game against Burnley. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. With Kostas Tsimikas out for a lengthy period, Liverpool will be hoping for the swift return of Andy Robertson, but the Scot still faces a long wait. Following Saturday's 1-1 draw with Arsenal, Liverpool's injury list stands at 8 senior players, along with a new doubt over Luis Diaz. Tsimikas is the latest to be sidelined, the Greek suffering a broken collarbone, joining Robertson, Alexis McAllister, Joel Matip, Thiago, Stefan Bajcetic and Ben Doak. Klopp has already explained the plan for Joe Gomez to fill in during the absence of both of his senior left-backs, while Luke Chambers is among those available in reserve. But the emphasis will be on Robertson returning first to full training, and then to action with the manager hopeful of a comeback next month. The Athletic's James Pearce has explained, however, that the number 26 is unlikely to be available for selection until late January. At the very least, that will see him miss 4 more games, including the Premier League clashes, Newcastle, the FA Cup third-round tie against Arsenal, and then the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals at home to Fulham. The trip to Bournemouth on January 21st could feasibly be considered of late January, though reporting an exact date for the left-back's return would purely be speculative. Liverpool are currently slated for 6 games in January, with the second leg at Fulham on January 24th, and the league visit of Chelsea on January 31st also on the card. But if the Reds do beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, a 4th-round tie will land on the weekend of January 27th-28th. It seems as though Liverpool can hope to have Robertson firmly back in the fold at that stage, but any means to expedite his return would be explored. The club could already be without 2 more players for the majority of January and into February, with Mo Salah and Jotaros departing for the African Cup of Nations and the Asian Cup. Both will leave Merseyside to join their national teams directly after the Newcastle game on New Year's Day. Jurgen Klopp has extended his incredible Premier League Boxing Day record with Liverpool's 2-0 win over Burnley. The boss is on another level. Liverpool saw off Burnley on Boxing Day to climb to the top of the Premier League. The 2-0 win, thanks to goals from Darwin Nunes and Diogo Jota, and ended a mini drought. The Reds had drawn back-to-back Premier League games against Manchester United and Arsenal. After all, with this, they're back on track. And also with this, Jurgen Klopp set a new Premier League record. The Liverpool boss now boasts the best Boxing Day record in competition history with 6 straight wins. No manager can boast more wins at 100% success rate. Even more than that, Klopp's Liverpool have 19 goals in those 6 games, conceding just once. Whilst it is just 1 game per season, it does show how consistent Klopp has been at Liverpool to hold on to a record like this. It's one he'll be expected to extend next year too, and this is a team that should only improve over the next 365 days. 7 back-to-back wins, then Klopp could be on his way to setting an unassailable record. Whilst our boss's achievements are quite remarkable, in this part of the video we'll discuss the match and the big talking points of it. Failure to kill games, a major concern. Only a week earlier, Jurgen Klopp said of his Liverpool team, "There are things that we have to improve, especially killing games. With the amount of dominance we are showing, some of the games are too close." And his point could have not been better, rammed home by a first half in which the Reds took 12 shots with 8 on target, worth 1.32 XG, but only had a single goal to show for it. Credit must of course go to James Trafford in the host's goal, but his bluntness has been a feature of so many recent games aside from the Carabao Cup win over West Ham. Liverpool will surely struggle to keep getting away with not taking their chances, and so Klopp would perhaps be wise to subject his charges to finishing drills in the coming days. The boss joked post-match that this was the Liverpool way at present to make it closer than it might need it to be. He said, "We could have made it easier. As long as I have been at Liverpool, we haven't done it the easy way. Why start now?" Incredibly, this game saw Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo's first assists of the season. Jotaros Return could mask flaws. Of course, if recent weeks have raised the question of whether this Liverpool attack is truly good enough to win the Premier League, then it's only fair to point out that it has been shorn of Diogo Jota of late. And the Portuguese underlined why that has been such an important factor in returning to action with a goal here. He competes with Mo Salah for the title of the best finisher at the club and is without a doubt the second most important forward behind the Egyptian. As such, keeping Jota fit for the remainder of the season could be the key to going on to lift silverware in May. Quaner is ready for the Matip role. With Liverpool struggling to make their dominance pay with goals, it ended up being utterly vital that we kept a clean sheet. And that was earned thanks in no small part to João Quaner, who added another hugely impressive performance to his growing list for the season. The decision not to sign a replacement for the injured Joel Matip in the upcoming January transfer window could only be justified by Quaner emerging as a worthy first-team option. On the evidence of Klopp's continued use of him and his efforts so far this term, it seems that the 20-year-old is absolutely ready to take on the big role. The academy graduate won a very impressive 9 out of 11 aerial duels at Turf Moor. Nunes must use this goal as a springboard. As he caressed a beautiful finish into the bottom corner of Trafford's goal after just 6 minutes, Darwin Nunes certainly didn't look like a player who had failed to net in his last 12 games. But a combination of poor finishing and the loss of a knack for constantly generating chances meant the Uruguayan was in business of ending a lengthy drought. Of course, in this moment, it is to have any significance for Nunes, then he must build on it and ensure there is no repeat of this recent barren run. With Salah set to depart for the African Cup of Nations imminently, now would be a good time for the forward to get on a roll. Interestingly, he returned to the central role after last week's action on the left of the attack. Disallowed goal shows flaw in VAR process. Klopp did not need another reason to dislike either Paul Tierney or Simon Hooper, but he was certainly given one here with the disallowing of a first half Cody Gakpo strike for a foul in the build-up. However, while it's generally difficult to summon any sympathy for referees, you do wonder if both men weren't exactly helped by the daft rules around VAR interventions. After Tierney entirely reasonably felt he had seen a foul by Nunes on Charlie Taylor in real time, an overturn was only possible in the event of a clear and obvious evidence in the contrary could be found. And unfortunately, in this situation, that would probably require daylight between the two players that is simply never going to exist when they are challenging in the box. Ultimately, that is a huge flaw in VAR process, and one that has compromised the referee's ability to simply settle on the right call. Liverpool fans, what do you make of the game yesterday? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Remember, we do have Liverpool t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or going to copyclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.